it's recording. Awesome. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you everybody for joining me in my kitchen while I prepare dinner. My name is Tina, and the Thermomix turned me from a cooking zero to a cooking hero. That is my tagline, and it is really true. Believe me, you can ask anybody who knows me. And so in the next, I think it's going to be about half an hour, you will see how you can feed your family with delicious and nutritious and easy dishes. You can be the star chef of the block. You will see how you can save money and time preparing your own meals. And most of all, you will see how much fun it is to cook with a Thermomix, which turned off because I didn't pay any attention to it in 15 minutes. It just turns off after 15 minutes. And here is another fun fact. If it turns off in a recipe after it's done with a cooking step and you turn it back on, it will ask you if you want to continue with that same recipe. So it remembers exactly where you were. Let's say you're cooking a soup and you're boiling the soup, you're leaving to go grocery shopping or go with the dog, you come back, you turn on the Thermomix and it will ask you, would you like to continue doing the broccoli soup? And you say yes, and it leads you through the next step. So it's beautiful to work with a smart kitchen appliance. So I have 2 kids, 2 teenage boys and 1 dog, so you may see them running around the kitchen, barking, bringing a ball around. So this is all live. And today I wanted to show you 2 quick, delicious things. And we'll start with dessert. And while that is cooking, I'll explain a little bit more about the Thermomix itself and any other things that you want to know. So this is the Thermomix. It was invented almost 50 years ago in Europe. And this is the 6th version. So you can make the math how rarely the manufacturer Vorwerk is introducing a new Thermomix. But this is the newest, the TM6, which was introduced in August about here in the US, and of course it's the best version yet, and this will be the version for years to come. It's like a Tesla or an iPhone, to where it has a software that will be upgraded every now and then, and the Thermomix will be better in a year than it is now. It will be better in 3 years than it is in 1 year. You get the picture. So it'll grow with you. Here you have the 3 dials: time, temperature, and speed of the blade. And I put a couple of dishes into our recipe plan for today, and I'll bring those up by clicking on the 3 lines and going to my week. So you can create your weekly plan through our app called COOKIDOO. Europeans say COOKIDOO. Some customers of mine call it COOKIDOO. So however you want to call it. And here is the menu for today, and I'm going to go onto the calendar view. Before I do that, I would like to do the first poll question, which is, who of you own a Thermomix already and who don't? Can you try and shoot the poll out? Oh, what? They all go. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I thought you can do one. Ah, okay. I have to do it too. Yes. Ah, okay. Okay, well, if you could just answer these questions. I thought that I would do one and then the other and then the other, but obviously it's like all together. So I'd love to know if you are using a Thermomix already, and if you are, how often you are using it. And I'm just going to participate here. And what's your favorite dish to cook? And there is so many different options, and it seems like every Thermomix user has a different favorite dish. And I'd love to ask the Thermomix users for their favorite dish. Were you able to see the poll? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Okay. We learn something new every day. This is session number 2, so they're getting better and better. For the Thermomix users, and that's why I was asking that questions, for the TM6 users, you may have noticed that if you put something in today's menu and you go to your Thermomix and it tells you you have nothing planned for today. Well, that is because the Thermomix is still thinking currently, I think, Australian time, where in the morning at 9 a.m., the Thermomix already thinks it's the next day. So in this case, the 15th. So what can you do? You can touch here. There's a little calendar symbol right underneath the magnifying glass, and that will give you the view of the calendar, which is beautiful because you can also scroll back in the past and see what you have cooked. And if you have any questions, if you can just put them in the chat, my husband will shout them over. So first we're gonna start with the dessert. And the dessert, I'm just gonna do the meringue because it's so powerful, so delicious, and so fast. And so this consists out of 3 layers: the biscuit bottom, then the lemon curd, and then in the end, the meringue. I did prepare the lemon curd earlier today, which is amazing. It uses a whole lemon, of course, without the rind and seeds. And if you scroll down, then you can see the steps and the preparations. And I don't want to be going next to get to the meringue. What I can do is I can just scroll down in the recipe and hit the step where the meringue is made. And now the first step is place a bowl on mixing bowl lid. Weigh in 90 grams of castor sugar. Castor sugar is powdered sugar. And Gwen, correct me if I'm wrong, is that an Australian term?
It's a British term, actually.
Oh, it's a British term?
But it's not quite powdered, it's just fine granulated.
It's like in the middle, right?
Yeah, it's fine granulated. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great.
Super fine sugar, like we call it in the US.
Okay, so I made this castor sugar within 15 seconds on speed 10 in my Thermomix earlier today. And this is one thing you can just swipe off your shopping list. You will never have to buy powdered sugar again because you can make it from scratch really easy. Next, remove bowl from mixing bowl lid and set aside. I love how it guides you through every bit of the recipe so that even a cooking zero like me is able to cook. And the Thermomix is not only for cooking dyslexics like me, it's also for chefs. I was just talking to Suzanne, who is an expert chef, and she described how she toasted her seeds and made an Indian spice mix. So it broadens your culinary horizon no matter what your level is. And also a lot of professional chefs love the Thermomix for grinding Parmesan, making soups, making risotto really easy.
Powerful.
It's very powerful. And now we are putting on the butterfly whisk. So this is the bowl and the blades turn clockwise and counterclockwise. It chops when it turns clockwise and it blends when it turns counterclockwise. This is the butterfly whisk. Just goes down, goes on top of it. And the butterfly whisk, you can use up to speed 4 and no more. Because if you put it in higher, it will fly off and get chopped up by the blades. If that happens though, I can tell you from personal experience that a replacement butterfly is only $10. So I had to learn that lesson myself. Insert butterfly whisk, and then 3 egg whites. Here are the egg whites from medium eggs. Next.
Tina, how fast does the motor go? I forget.
10,700 rotations a minute. That is on speed 10. That's like an airplane taking off. Mm-hmm. So that speed turns Parmesan into Parmesan powder in 15 seconds, sugar into powdered sugar, grains into flour, rice into rice flour. Really powerful. So 30 grams of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Without measuring cup.
And it weighs too, so
Oh yeah, did you see the weighing function?
no.
Oh, hold on. Oh, my kids are back. Turn speed selector to speed 4. So here you can see that for 4 minutes, temperature is going to be 37 degrees Celsius because it's a British or an Australian recipe. And then speed 4. So I turn it to speed 4. Speed 4, no more. Meanwhile, follow the next step. Slowly add reserved sugar through the hole in the mixing bowl. Then. A little bit of a sugar splatter here. Three minutes left. Has anybody made the meringue yet?
I made pavlova on Sunday night, Tanya.
So earlier today, I made the lemon curd, and that is 1 lemon, and that is mushed up, speed 10, and then adding sugar, eggs, egg yolk, and butter. And it's so delicious. Really good. This can also be a filling for a key lime pie or on scones. It's really delicious. This many times is perfect today. And how many of you were able to just leave the room while your cooking robot is magically creating the mousse? Make now or in general? Well, now it's in, yeah, now it's the Thermomix going. But I forgot to use my,
Can we hear each other well?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble hearing.
So for the people that aren't familiar, the dials on the front, so the Thermomix is intuitive and it's just telling you what to press next, and it knows what speed, it knows what temperature, if it's a temperature, and it knows for how long.
can you hear me better?
Gosh,
Something's happened all of a sudden.
It's not like the Thermomix makes a lot of
Well,
noise.
while the Thermomix is blending, it's
That's
probably
better.
a little difficult to hear.
huh. That's interesting.
And whenever you just want to stop
Nope.
the process, you can just hit the silver selector, and that will stop the process, and you can continue when you have that.
Аша на вареники ворует уже, чтобы 2 вареника сломала. Не знаю, подпрыгивает, берет, убегает.
Would it be possible to mute people?
Их надо убрать повыше.
Pardon?
I was wondering whether it'd be better to mute the other people, because if anyone makes any noise at home, they then
Yeah, we can
it
mute.
comes on the screen and like it's you. And then people can send you a message if they
How does that look? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You can hear me now? You can see this? Ah, good. Thank you, thank you. So the Thermomix is off and everybody else is muted. That might help. So isn't the consistency just amazing? Of course, you can put that in a piping bag and really do a nice piping on top, or you can just, it won't even move. It is so dense. And the lemon juice gives it just a little bit of a lemony flavor. Now I need a screenshot. So was that easy? Was it fast? Was it cheaper than buying meringue? Of course, now you could put this into the oven as well, or with a little torch, just brown it on the very top, and the consistency stays for a while. It's your dessert. Cheers.
Okay, we can't hear anything now.
Okay, thank you. Now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. So now we're going into the main attraction, and that is the soup, or the main dish. And for that, I'm going to go to the home screen again. Going to go to my week, and then bring up my calendar for the week. And I'm going to do a broccoli soup and Stilton. I didn't know what Stilton was up to like 2 weeks ago. And then I found out it's a British cheese. So instead of Stilton, I just used cheddar. And I want to show you that you can use the Thermomix in a manual mode as well. So you don't have to do the guided functions, even though COOKIDOO has over 55,000 recipes. So you can just introduce a manual step at any point, or you can cook an entire recipe just manually by setting the time, temperature, and speed of the blade. That's what I will do first, just to grind the cheese. And it's always better to buy the cheese in pieces and then grind it yourself. A, it's cheaper. B, it lasts longer, and C, you don't have any additives like starch to prevent it from clumping. So I'll just throw the cheese in the bowl. And then since the cheese is not that hard, I don't need to go all the way to speed 10. So I'll just do speed 8. And you can kind of hear when the cheese is ready, when the blades are turning evenly. Ta-da! How does that look? How many seconds was it? Like 8 seconds? Beautifully ground up cheese. Of course, you can do that finer as well. All right, so now we're going to start with the recipe. Oh, hold on.
The bowl looks so small at this angle. It looks small. It's really big.
It holds 2.2 liters, which is 9.3 cups. So the soup is usually for about 5 people. And I have a household of 3 men and myself, and we usually have some soup left over.
It just looks small in the angle.
Because I'm so tall.
That's why.
Okay, so we're gonna go into the broccoli soup and we're gonna start cooking. You're about to start a new recipe. So thank you for thinking for me. Okay, so weigh into the bowl, on the mixing bowl, 500 grams of broccoli. And I've already prepared this because what I love about this soup, it uses the stalks as well as the florets. So in some dishes, you discard the stalks. Here, they're actually part of the recipe. So use whole broccoli. Cut the remainder of broccoli head into florets and set aside. And now we're starting the cooking process. 1 garlic clove, 40 grams of olive oil. And see, I don't know if you can see the scale really good, but it tells me exactly how much I put in. I put in a little more. It doesn't judge. It doesn't judge. And 150 gram onions. Well, I do less. I'm not really an onion fan. I'm only doing half, 75 gram, and it's okay with that too. So you can always skip ingredients, add ingredients. This is just a suggested guide. Instead of the 100 grams of celery stalks, I'm using zucchini. And then 120 gram potatoes peeled. Insert mixing bowl. A measuring cup into mixing bowl lid. And now for 5 seconds, temperature 0, turn speed selector, which is this one, to speed 6. Chopping. Want to show you the result. What do you say?
Wow.
Not bad for 5 seconds. I'm using my spatula just to push it down a bit. With measuring cup still in place, turn speed selector to speed 1. And now we're going to add some heat. For 5 minutes, it will saute the garlic, onions, zucchini, what else? Potatoes. And it'll saute as the first step in our soup recipe. And the beautiful thing is while it's sauteing, I can do something else. For example, show you the accessories that come with the Thermomix. This is the simmering basket. It sits inside the bowl and you use it as a strainer, for example, for the 2-second lemonade, where you put all of the whole lemons into the Thermomix and then you sieve it out and all of the pulp stays back. And this is perfect for steaming rice. And Suzanne, you were telling me that you were about to do rice tomorrow. I highly recommend the steaming rice function. It means that all of the starches of the rice end up in the water and they're not in the rice. 20 minutes, super fluffy rice. Then we have the splash guard for the TM6. This is for the high heat sauteing function that the TM6 comes with. It goes on top just to make sure that the air can escape, but that there is no splattering. We do have a new accessory, the blade cover. It's currently out of stock though, so hopefully back in stock again soon. That covers the blade. And you can make stews, etc., without the meat getting into the blades. Also for sous vide, this is a great tool to use for sous vide. Then we have our varoma, and I love how the Italians pronounce it, and it's vapor and aroma, meaning you cook your ingredients with steam, and there's 2 layers, the varoma itself and then the varoma tray. And you can do up to 4-layer cooking, to where with the steam that is developed by cooking either a soup or a broth, you cook the rest of the ingredients. So you can prepare, for example, a tomato-based sauce. You can drop the simmering basket in here and cook potatoes. You can have your broccoli in here. And you can have your meatballs that, of course, you prepared in the Thermomix and rolled into little pieces. You can steam that in here. So you can have tomato sauce, potatoes, broccoli, and meatballs while you're taking a shower. Isn't that great? It is literally set and forget, because nothing can burn. You're not using any oil, so it's a very healthy way. You're not using, of course, any preservatives, and it's just real food made real easy. Is there any questions? Any questions in the chat, honey? Nope. Okay.
Oh, I have one.
Yes.
You said you make rice using the steamer inside the bowl, not on top.
Yes, so the rice is done in the bowl. You do need a lot of vapor to steam rice. However, the TM6 also has a rice cooker function, to where you can cook the rice in the bowl, just like a rice cooker would. And you can choose if you do quinoa, brown rice, different sorts of rice. But I feel the fluffiest rice is when you steam it in the simmering basket. And you can use the simmering basket. I use it almost every week to boil eggs. And for Easter, of course, you need a little bit more eggs. So I steamed 20 eggs in the varoma at once. Took like 22 minutes.
Tanya, when you say,
pardon?
sorry, so simmering, you're sitting on top of the TM6 when simmering,
No,
or
it goes
inserted?
inside. Let me show
Okay.
you. I'm using all of the bowls. So you drop it inside the bowl. Inside the bowl. So it sits basically here. Pardon? The meringue is in there. Yeah. And this one is dirty. You can never have enough bowls. The Thermomix comes with 1 bowl, and you can purchase additional bowls as well. I love my second bowl. Oh, and it's doing the dance. That means, hey, I'm done. It's your turn again. Next. It smells good. Can you see the vapor? So this is now beautifully sauteed. And now it asks me to add 500 grams of vegetable stock or chicken stock. And that is stock that I made. And oh, since I took off the lid, the scale now went into minus. And with tare, you can always bring the scale back to 0. So you can, while you're cooking, you can weigh on the very top of your Thermomix or of the varoma. So you can use it as a scale even while you're cooking. I need a little more. And what I did is I just used water and I added my vegetable stock paste. That's another great recipe that you can do with the Thermomix. You use, for example, my stocks. Previously, I would just turn them into stock paste with herbs and salt, and this is going to be the base for my soups, when I boil rice, for my sauces. It makes a great gift, you know, put a little bow on it and bring it as a host gift. So it's health in a jar. Add reserved broccoli florets. Oh, I may have missed the stalks. They're still sitting here. I have to check the recipe. Insert measuring cup into mixing bowl lid. And now for 10 minutes, speed 1. And while that is cooking, I just wanted to give you a brief tour of the COOKIDOO, and I hope it's going to be loud enough. I'll just turn the speed down just a little bit. Is that okay? So I'm going to, shoot. I'll have to jump on my husband's computer to do screen share. Can you? Can we hear anyone?
Yep.
Oh, good. Sorry.
Gwen.
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see COOKIDOO?
Yes.
Awesome. So here I am, and I love how it greets me. Hello, Tina, what would you like to cook today? And I want to add that I am in the home market of Australia because I signed up to COOKIDOO before the US even had COOKIDOO, but I wanted to show it in English. So now I'm kind of stuck in Australia because all of the lists that I generated are in Australia and they cannot just move them to the US. So I'm kind of stuck in Australia, which is okay. I can still access the entire world through COOKIDOO. So what would you like to cook today? Let's say I am in the mood for a risotto. And here are 30 results just for Australia. And I can either take out Australia or I can turn on filter and filter for additional countries. So let me take out Australia. And now in the entire world of COOKIDOO, there is 994 risottos. So this is like 15 different languages. And I'm going to filter them now because I cannot read many other languages. So, hold on. Need to figure out how to bring this down. So I would like a risotto that only takes me 15 minutes. And I want to eat total time in 30 minutes. You can choose your rating. You can choose your Thermomix version. If you have a TM5, you check off TM5 because there's some functions that the TM6 has and the TM5 doesn't, but I'll just keep it with the TM6. And then you can sort by language. Like I speak English and I personally speak German. So I have 60 results of risottos that take me 15 minutes or less that are done in 30 minutes. And I like the risotto with spinach and peas. And I have 3 dots here. and I can cook it today, bookmark it, add it to a personal collection, add it to my week and to shopping list. I can add it to my collection, and this is how you ideally organize your recipes. I have a lot of collections, as you can see, and I will just drop it into my risottos. It was successfully updated. And if you go into the recipe, you can see the details, you can see the ingredients, you can see the preparations. And then from here on, you can also add it to your week. Let's say I want to cook this on Saturday. Save. And the beauty is that you have your week visible here. And here again, you can toggle between the list view and the calendar view. And that's the same on the TM6 display. So here you see that on Saturday, I have the risotto planned. I can also add the risotto to my shopping list.
Which goes on
And
your
now
phone.
all of my shopping items are visible here. And you can either view them by recipe or by category, which I think makes more sense if you're going shopping. And all of the ingredients you already have at home, like dark sugar, like white wine and water, you can already check them off. And then when you're in the store, you have this on your phone, on your app, and then you just check off all of the ingredients that you have already put into your basket. What you can also do is you can add additional ingredients. If you need milk or if you need apples, you just add them to your list. And the beauty is that you can have numerous phones logged onto the same profile. So my husband has my login on his phone, meaning if he goes shopping, he has that very list on his iPhone. And so that's a great way of sharing shopping lists. What you can also do, however, is you can print it and you can copy this list and copy it in an email or print it out. And this is how you go shopping and save money because you really just buy the items that you need. If you have items in the fridge that you're not quite sure what to do with, you can search for those items here. Let's say you're having potatoes and chicken. It will give you all of the dishes that contain these two ingredients. And here again, I'm taking out Australia. And there's 238 dishes using potatoes and chicken. And then you can not only look for recipes, but also for collections. And Suzanne earlier today mentioned that she bought the hardcover version of an Indian recipe book.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just gonna go and search for India, and instead of recipes, I click on collections. So now you see all of the Indian cookbooks, and let's say she bought the Taste of India.
Mm-hmm.
You can here save that, and then it's part of your collections, part of your recipes in My Recipes. So you see all recipes, you see the created recipes, those are my lists. And then you see the saved recipes and book or collections, and those are entire collections. One that I love to highlight is this Chinese cookbook. I have no clue what it is. It looks amazing, and it just shows you that no matter which language you speak, Thermomix probably has a recipe for it. I just saw that Romania, Singapore, and Malaysia were added to the list of the countries. Any questions in regards to COOKIDOO?
Can I ask you a question? If you have a favorite recipe that's not a Thermi, but do you ever try using non-Thermi recipes in your Thermi?
If you can put the recipe in guided cooking, is that your question?
Yeah, if you have a recipe, can you use non-Thermomix recipes with the Thermi? So,
Oh, absolutely. Yes. So you can, the Thermomix has a logic that goes from dry to wet and from cold to hot. And there is a pamphlet that comes with the Thermomix that tells you exactly how to translate your own recipes. And another update of the TM6 is that you will be able to do your own recipes and guided functions. So that is something they're working on. Not quite sure when it's going to be launched, but it will be, you will be able to create your own recipes and turn them into guided cooking functions. Any other questions in regards to the COOKIDOO? Everything that you see here, I also have on my YouTube channel, Thermomix. That's TAINAMIX.com. Of course, you can ask the consultant that referred you to join us today. So we're happy to take any questions. My website is Thermomix.com. And we're always here in order to help you optimize your Thermomix usage. And usually we do these cooking parties in person. Suzanne was the last one before the lockdown. I got the personal experience. Now we're all doing it online. And every Thermomix customer receives a Get Cooking session where we will be your assistant in creating the recipe. So we're here every step of the way. We want to make sure that you utilize the Thermomix as often as you can, because the Thermomix, we're not selling the Thermomix. We want you to improve your life and optimize your kitchen. So that's what we're here for. The soup has cooked, and now I'm supposed to add the 80 grams of the Stilton cheese. Well, in my case, it's going to be cheddar. And some salt. Well, now I'm tied to my microphone. Some salt and pepper. The veggie paste already has some salt, but I usually do need a little more. And in regards to salt, I can highly recommend turning sea salt into herbal salt. That's really delicious. I put that on anything. Friends of mine put it on popcorn. And this is a cumin curry salt that I'm making. And here's a pepper salt. So the salt is really an inexpensive, beautiful gift for you, for yourself, or for somebody else in a nice jar. So it really gives it a beautiful flavor.
where did you get that salt container from?
That's an Amazon. It's a bamboo, and it's really nice because you can turn it all three ways.
Oh, no, it's great.
And it's stable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazon, look for salt, bamboo, 3-tier.
Love it.
Insert measuring cup into mixing bowl lid. And now for 2 minutes, I'll just do it 1 minute. Speed 10. So that's the highest speed. Before I do that, I do want to mention that the Thermomix is $1,499. It is the best investment I've ever made. The Thermomix lasts for decades. My mom has had hers for 25 years. So this is the best investment somebody can make into their own kitchen. And ending tonight, we offer a 0% 12 months financing, which comes down to about $130 per month, so about $4.50 per day. Usually we say that's a Starbucks coffee. Now it's not, but you get the picture. It's a great investment. And if you use it only for 10 years, it's $2 per week. And with one case of powdered sugar, you're already saving that. So in Europe, the Thermomix is on every registry because they know once you have it, you will save money. We call this our money maker. So hopefully you were able to see why we call it that. So 1 minute, speed 10.
The first time I ground the sugar into the powdered dust, I was like blown away. It was so fine. It stuck to the edge of the bowl, and then when I tapped it, it went. I was so impressed.
Cass, how easy is it to clean the bowl? Can it go in the dishwasher or and the blades and everything?
It's dishwasher safe, Amelia, and also there's a pre-clean function in there. So if there's stuff stuck to it, you can just pop water in it, one of these squirt. God, why can't I get my words out? Soap, and then you press pre-clean, and it'll automatically clean it up for you. And then all you have to do is just rinse it. It actually works.
It does.
Yeah.
And this is just a really quick, this is the Thermomix. There's so much more that you can show and do. There's so many more function. The pre-clean function, as you mentioned, rice cooker, kettle, sous vide, slow cook. So there is so much more to the Thermomix, but this is basically just to give you an idea. And this is the consistency after 1 minute of pureeing. Ooh, isn't that smooth? So this is going to be dinner for my kids today. And there's a lot of soup recipes where you boil the soup and at the same time you're steaming salmon, veggies. So you have 2 courses done in one meal. Maybe we could do that the next time. Do I do free delivery to Santa Monica? Maybe. And I also saw in the chat, Roslane had a great comment that she uses the Google Translate on the screen while cooking a different language recipe. And maybe, hopefully soon, the Thermomix will translate. So that's on our wish list. If you have any other items for your wish list for COOKIDOO to do, then please forward them to us. We'll forward them to headquarters. Also, another thing I'd like to mention is you can earn your Thermomix, or you can basically have it pay back the money by sharing it with others. I always recommend to become a customer first, to cook a little, but then share it. Share your love, share your passion, and have it pay for itself. So that's always an option if you feel like this could be something that you're interested in. Good. So we had a soup, we had a meringue. Do we have any further questions? The TM5, hold on. What's the question in the chat?
How much is the TM5?
Well, the TM5 is the previous version. It's new $1449. If you're looking for a new device, I would highly recommend the TM6. I personally do not see any use in buying the TM5 new. There is probably a few used ones out there, but if you're going for a new Thermomix, then definitely the TM6, because that will adapt functions that the TM5 does not have. I know they're still selling it, but that's their decision.
Mhm.
Do you know about when they'll have that blade cover available?
No, I don't. But if you're on my newsletter, and if you want to be on my newsletter, you can sign up on my website or just send me a quick text. I'll send out an email as soon as the blade cover is available. I already sent a recommendation to Vorwerk to have a little email box basically saying, please update me when this item is back in stock, but so far they don't have that. So I will update you. I'll send it out.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Not for me.
Good. So did you feel that it was fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great.
Can you see how you can save money by using it, by not going out?
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yes, which is now difficult. Yes. And you can be the cooking star like me. People now cannot believe that I did not cook at all. Right, honey? We had a lady cook for us before the Thermomix entered our lives. And when I invited her over for dinner, she said, is that the polite way to tell me I'm fired? Yes, I actually wanted her to be on board because, yes, I want everybody to be on board. And it's a really great community. So in person, of course, it's more personable, and you get to exchange recipes and recommendations. And I always learn from others, and that's the beauty. That's why you should always just tune in and watch YouTube videos. There's so much inspiration out there. And I've had mine for 4 years now, and I feel like I'm just scratching the surface of what I can do.
I have a question, Tina.
Yes.
When it says that, the videos I've seen, it says that the Thermomix, the Thermomix gets smarter as it goes along.
Yes.
How does that happen?
It's an automatic update over Wi-Fi. You will have like it's like your iPhone, like new update is available. Do you want to install it now?
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it has a new function, or it has a new ring, ding, ring, ding. That's the beauty. It will always grow. And that's why they had to introduce the TM6, because the TM5 was basically maxed out when it came to the software. Because the TM5 was developed before Siri, before Alexa, and they had to develop the TM6 just to keep up with the connected kitchen. And the hardware is the same of the TM5. So they really just updated the software.
Can you just hold up the bowl one more time? Because it looks so small. I'm so hungry.
Question then, is it that after so many years that you're going to have to upgrade to the TM7 when the TM7 comes out? They won't be able to upgrade the TM6 anymore?
No. There is thousands, millions of customers that are still using the TM21, TM31, TM5, TM6. So the customers using the TM5, just some functions they're not able to do, like the high heat sauteing, like the hour-long slow cooking, but they're able to do all of the recipes. We still have millions of customers, and they're still being served because Thermomixes last, 10, 20, 30 years. As I said, my mom has had hers for 25 years. So this is really a great investment. And usually families in Spain, the grandma has the TM31, the mother has the TM5, and the daughter has the TM6.
Amelia, the only reason I bought my new one is because Lockie wanted to take his to college with him. So he took my old one, and then I got the newer one.
Nice.
So that's why I upgraded. Otherwise, I wouldn't really have known.
Okay, don't tell my son that, please.
And I just saw a TM31 today, so not the TM5, but the TM31, and they wanted to sell it for $500. So it's like a Mercedes. It really keeps its value for years because the motor is a reluctance motor, so it's magnetic. So there's no shearing, meaning the motor really never breaks. And here's another quick story. The Kraft Heinz ketchup company is one of my customers. They use it in their laboratory to do the testing for all of the new products. And they wanted to exchange, they get some cash back for the TM21, which is from the 90s. And they said, we want to buy a TM6 and have a TM21 that we'd like to trade in for $225. And I said, oh, did the TM21 break down? They're like, oh no, the motor and everything is still running fine. The handle broke off. So they were not able to take it out. And of course, for something that was developed in the 90s, there's not really replacement parts, at least not in the US, because that was not a US version if they brought it from Europe. So because of the handle, they upgraded to the TM5, 6. But the motor was still running perfect. Great.
Thank you.
Anything else? Any questions? Please call me, text me. My phone number is 310-717-5565. I'll put it in the chat.